snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. This is the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to the Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Project, where I am with my co-host, Ben Hansen. For the first time in the regular season, it's just us two. So we're going to have a lot of time to be able to speak freely about our teams and what's going on. Obviously, college football is going to be a lot of fun to talk about as well, because we'll probably have a lot more time to kind of deep dive about that. Just to give you a brief preview of what's to come. First off, not having a great time as a Bears fan, and we'll get to that here shortly. Weekly news is going to be super short, but then everything else is as advertised. So Weddle. No segments have been canceled as of right now. So, I would expect everything to stay the same this episode. It's going to be awesome. So we've got a good show for you tonight. Ben, you had a trip, man. You missed out. I mean, how are you feeling?
Yeah, no, as I said on last week's episode, I was supposed to go to that Bears Colts game. I didn't. I had a kayak camping trip, so I went and did that. It was a lot of fun. It rained, so I think I'm coming down with like a cold from that. But we'll get through it. It was a lot of fun. To be frank, it was just the Colts Bears game just wasn't like a good game. So it's not like I missed out on much, honestly. And I'm sure you have big plans on getting into that. But I miss the Michigan USC game. I missed pretty much the majority of the Eagles Saints game. And both teams won. I made money on parlays that I had set before I had left for the trip. So I consider it a major success in my books. Outside of catching the cold, which kind of sucks because I just shook the cold that I had previously for like a month. But it's all right. How are you doing, buddy? I know you're doing your best to hang in there.
Should I go ahead and dive into it right now?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I'm just gonna start with this, right? There was a conversation that I had with Matt before I want to say last week's episode, to where I said during the season that I was just going to pick nothing but Bears and Pigskin Pick'em just for the bit at this point. Just because there's a lot of hype going into the season. I had a lot of confidence in my team, and I can no longer say that. In fact, I'm going to hereby, until further notice, state that I will be doing the exact opposite. Now, with this team, I have constantly said that they will not beat the Green Bay Packers until they prove me otherwise. I am to the point with this team that I am done saying they're going to win a game until proven otherwise. This defense is spectacular. Hats off to the defense. I think that it's a lot of fun. First off, Darrell Taylor, I hope that you're able to play this week, man, because if not, it's going to be the Austin Booker show, and dude's still got a lot to learn. But in the limited amount of reps that he's shown, dude's showing out. I'm excited. But nonetheless, when your defense is on the field that much in the first 3 weeks, you cannot expect consistency from your defense to be at this high level. You need to have a good run game. You need to have a good passing game, at least subpar, not 1.5 yards per carry in your run game. It's horrible. Are you serious? Now, here's the deal. Looking back at the Roschon Johnson signing, hey, maybe not the greatest idea. Just saying. Or not Roschon Johnson. I'm sorry, DeAndre Swift. Roschon Johnson, it was a beast. DeAndre Swift, I watched a little bit of footage, and dude is a complete failure. This comment right here. Yes, thank you for. Yeah, we both went to go pull it up at the same time. The O-line is the worst line in NFL history. Now, here's the thing that I want to say to that, right? That's fine. I understand. I think that we figured out our right guard position for right now. Pryor played a fine game. I think he played a fine game, and that's all that we needed. However, right, dude got hurt, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry. Braxton Jones got a little banged up. We had to move Pryor to left tackle, which, by the way, versatility is awesome. But obviously you want something that's consistent. I have a point to this, okay? This O-line is the worst line in NFL history. You want to know why you're seeing this every single year? It's because you still have the same coach coaching the same positions for the past 3 years that have gotten Fields killed and will get Caleb killed. If you expect things to change, it's literally the definition of insanity. I've had conversation with my loved ones saying, I don't know why I look forward to this every single week because I know what's going to happen. The defense is going to show out. The offense that I am so, I will say, I love the offense more than anything, right? But it doesn't work. I love the offensive side of the ball and football in general, and my favorite team just can never get it right. And not only that, so it says Pryor was so high the entire game he's too big to play guard. If that's the case, whatever, but he at least was serviceable compared to Nate Davis. Nate Davis is a complete failure, and at the point I'm so happy we can cut him and save money at the end of the year because if it were up to me, I would cut him right now. It just wouldn't make sense. Here's the thing, though. You got to get rid of the O-line coach. That's the number one thing. Second off, I was in a heated Twitter debate for the majority of the day today with some guy, the dude 444, which, by the way, I'm glad that you paid attention to that because I will say, hopefully you're on the same page as me. I think I was spitting facts. So anybody that vouches for Eberflus at this point in time
is an idiot.
Best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. That's all I got to say. Anybody, first off, okay, I named this podcast episode what I did. Did the Bears make a mistake? That is the media telling you that the Bears made a mistake drafting Caleb first overall. I will tell you this first, if nobody else has. This game has not been Caleb. He threw one bad interception. The other one was tipped. That's not his fault. And I will continue to fight for whatever quarterback. I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers. A tipped interception, in my book, I understand it counts in the stat book. In my book, I will not fault you for that ever. Scott, I will get to your comment in just a second. Actually, no. I will say this now because it's funny. Shelton couldn't move a 110-pound JVD tackle with the help of a double team. Yes, this guy's clueless. Get him off my football team. Anyways, so going after everything, I'm just so fed up with it. But if you think that this game was on Caleb, dude threw for 366 yards. He threw the ball 52 times in the game. What more do you want from him? Not only that, he's growing. Not only did he throw his first NFL touchdown, which, I mean, with all the hype coming into the season, I'm not going to lie, I was a little concerned saying that, it took him 3 weeks to throw his first NFL touchdown. But if you're asking for growth, you got it, right? He beat Justin Fields' career best in one game. And all it took him was 3 weeks. If you wanted a better quarterback, you got one. Now, I will say, I want to say he was top 10 in, what was it? I got a lot of stats in here. Basically, let me find it. When it comes to turnover-worthy plays, he was bottom 10 when it comes to like his decision making is amongst the best of the league when it comes to top 10, according to stats, and specifically week 3. So that means that we have a quarterback that is somewhat competent, dating back to that. Okay, if you follow me on Twitter, which I would imagine majority of you do, considering 5 people watching out of the total 7 are watching from my Twitter page, which, by the way, thank you. You don't have to follow me on Twitter, but this is where you're going to watch the Pigskin Project live. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will see that I was backing up the quarterback before the game even started. You go back to the Texans game, kid was still, I understand that it was underachieving, but still, you'll see that I stopped tweeting when I said this offense is pathetic. I'm not going to continuously get optimistic about this team because it does such a good job of reeling you back in and consider, hey, we got it going. We got Hard Knocks. Everything's going well. We got a quarterback that says that it's generational. The media at this point is even saying the Bears are going to be good. And all of a sudden, we still can't figure it out. I'm blaming the coaches. I'm officially out on Matt Eberflus. Dude should have been fired yesterday. I'm officially, I will say this, I'm giving Waldron more of a chance than I should right now, but this dude is also clueless when it comes to his scheming. When it comes to route running, you look back at the Texans game. Rome Odunze should not be running that close to Cole Kmet at late in the game because that's how that defensive back is able to make that play, and that's why Caleb's throwing that pick. I don't care who you are. That's going to be an interception every time because you're in the NFL and you're against defensive backs that are at pro level. And that's on the offensive coordinator for putting the receiver in that position. The receiver is clearly just doing his job and running the route the way that he is instructed to run. Same with the offensive line. Whether you disagree with it or not, they say it in the locker room. We're just doing what we're coached. If it doesn't work, you blame the coaches. Now, I understand that there is a lack of talent. I am also blaming that. I will not say that that will go unnoticed, but the coaching is the main problem here because the only thing in the offensive line that you have consistent is the coaching. And then you go and look at Lucas Patrick, which I understand he's had one good game out of the 3. And then you look at Sam Mustipher, who just so happens to be awesome in Baltimore when he comes straight off of the Bears. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you one more thing before I'm able to take a breath, okay? Malik Willis, after failing in Tennessee, all of a sudden does great in Green Bay. Sam Darnold, who failed in New York, all of a sudden can do great in Minnesota. Andy Dalton, who failed literally anywhere else other than Cincinnati, can go in 1 week for Carolina after Bryce Young and tear it up. You go in and you look at, I don't know, let's look at Indianapolis. I mean, Gardner Minshew last year, he did a pretty good job, I would say. Would you agree?
Yes.
So what I'm boiling this down to, Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay won a playoff game last year. Dude was on a practice squad. He was on the waiver wire for the Rams the year before that. I mean, this doesn't just happen. It's not like, oh, the Bears are just unlucky. This boils down to coaching. And there's a common denominator year after year after year after year. It doesn't matter how you develop this quarterback. If you've got Malik Willis in this room that you literally just traded for a couple weeks ago and he can come in and start for you and throw a couple touchdowns and a couple 100 yards, it's serviceable. And a serviceable quarterback is not something the Bears have had in a long time, and I'm chalking it up to coaching because why can every other team in the division figure it out, but the Bears cannot? It doesn't make sense. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And for that reason alone, I'm saying save yourself the sanity. Go in. Don't have optimism anymore because that's what the Bears have been selling you on for the past 2 decades. Do not go into it. Let yourself be pleasantly surprised. I'm done with it. I'm tired of being psychotic and super overconfident about this team. It's pathetic. This team is pathetic. I don't care what kind of talent you had on the field. Side note, Rome Odunze, great job on Sunday. That was fun to watch. But I don't care what kind of talent you have because it boils down to the coaching. And until that is resolved, which hopefully Ben Johnson, Kubiak, or let's say Kingsbury, come to Chicago, try and fix this offense.
Bobby Slowick.
Because you look great. Slow it, sure, why not? Like, who cares? I don't know. Let's see. Everyone you just named has an O-line that doesn't have him running for his life. Hey, I wonder if that's
the Panthers
is horrible. But
yeah,
I wonder if that offensive coordinator knows how to scheme an offensive line or not. Because no matter what, I mean, that's those teams that I just named have consistent, besides Carolina, have consistent O-line play to where somehow, some way, They're able to bring it in. You said, hold on 1 minute. Give me just 1 second. Ryan Poles said they're building through the trenches first. Why is it that you're drafting and signing players that play just as good as you did in Chicago? Which, by the way, if you didn't know, Ryan Poles didn't make the practice squad, let alone the actual roster. Dude, if you can't scout, what's the point of having a scouting team? Get something right for once. Darnell Wright looks like a fool out there. Ben, please take the floor so I can breathe. I got a headache now.
No, you're all good. No, it's tough because the defense looks good, and that was Eberflus's calling card. And you knew he was going to be a good defensive mind, and it was a conversation that me and you have had off air. That if we're looking at just that side of the ball, he's killing it. He's doing a great job, but he's the head coach of the football team. He is responsible for all facets of that team, and it is awful. And really, the big wonder that I had or have had is how Chris Morgan even still has a job. For those who don't know, Chris Morgan's the offensive line coach for the Bears. I don't know. He's been there with the Bears for 3 years.
I didn't even say the most frustrating part of Sunday yet, but hopefully you'll let me get to that. But anyways, continue.
I'm sure I was probably going to get there. But I don't know how Chris Morgan has a job, like even going into this year after fielding the two offensive lines from the 2 years prior. It was awful. But then to the point, to the other point, I think you are giving Shane Waldron too much of a leash. Dude is bad. I mean, when he left Seattle, you saw Jackson Smith-Njigba's reaction.
I'm taking that with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
Happy. I know. But and he was happy about that. And at the time, I was in the same book as you. But then you go and you look at this game. You're running the option 4 times or whatnot on the goal line. With a few drives prior, you saw Rome Odunze become that red zone threat that we wanted him to be. And you looked at that and you said, wow, he actually, is the red zone jump ball threat that we would have all hoped. And Shane Waldron was like, no. Let me run the football 4 times in a row with one of the worst offensive lines in the history of the NFL.
I'm going to stop you right there. Not only one of the worst offensive lines, let me get this right. So you're going to fail to get more than 1.5 yards per carry against one of the worst run defenses in the league without their best defensive tackle. You're going to run a quick, what's the play called? I'm sorry. Quick option?
Speed option?
Speed option. Thank you. Long day, guys. You're going to run a speed option on the 1 yard line on what was that, 4th and goal? Now, the most frustrating part about that drive was that play. However, you want to know the second most? Your most efficient runner didn't play that entire drive, or at least not within the red zone. If you're going to run the ball, why are you running it with DeAndre Swift that can't find a hole to save his life? Like, I don't get it. Your power runner in Roschon Johnson that's able to pick up at least a couple yards. Why don't you do that? I mean, Caleb can literally do a QB sneak. Pull what Philly does. I'm not saying tush push, but for the love of God, you're right there. You're right there. 1 yard equals 3 foot. 6 foot. That's Caleb Williams. Look at this. Look at this O-line. They're all on the ground. Look at Darnell Wright. He's lounging. Look at that. I mean,
I thought this picture was fake when I first saw it. When I had first saw it, I was like, this must be an edited photo. Because, again, I wasn't here for that first slate of games.
Can you do me a favor?
This is awful.
Read that top comment to everybody that can't see it.
But, yes, this is 100% Caleb's fault that he's struggling.
Yeah, right? Yeah, sure. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
The audacity of Sun Bears fans to just be like, well, if we had Fields, I think we'd have a couple wins under our belt. At least 3 or at least 2 of them, we might be undefeated right now. Fields would run this team into the ground. I'm sorry. I love Fields. I'm happy that they're succeeding in Pittsburgh. But dude holds the ball even longer than Caleb. If you think that he holds the ball just as much as Justin, you're wrong. Dude's got a top 10 time to throw in the league. And you want to sit here and tell me that Fields is right? Go root for Pittsburgh. What are you doing in Chicago? Kick rocks. I don't want to. I mean, come on.
Really quickly, Scott, I keep seeing you bring up this point about Matt Pryor being too big to play guard. At the end of the day, if he's looked the best of any of the guards you have played thus far in the season, then you just continue to play him at guard. He might.
I don't care if it's Johnny on the block.
It might be
that sells beef sandwiches on the corner street. If he plays better guard than Nate Davis, I'll pay.
Well, and that's my big thing. If that's the best he's played, like if that's the best guard you guys have seen play through the first 3 weeks or whatnot, then he should continue to play the guard. You go and you look at the Eagles' offensive line, which I think we would both agree one of the better offensive lines in the entire league. Look at their right guard. It's Becton. He's 7'7". It's fine. He might struggle to get a little bit lower, but
there it is. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is bait. I'm not reading that. Stop it. Justin would have I am reading it. Justin will have this team undefeated because they would have drafted a stud tackle. No, if I remember correctly, throughout the rest of the offseason, everybody that wanted to keep Justin wanted to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1 overall. So don't even come at me with the tackle stuff because you didn't want to draft a tackle number 1 overall. You wanted to draft a stud wide receiver, which, by the way, clap it up for Arizona for getting that one right. That guy's a stud. But, I mean, you don't want a tackle. You wouldn't have. Plain and simple. I'm sorry. Let's move on. That was 20 minutes, and I want to talk about other teams. By the way, if you guys haven't listened to last week's episode, please do, because Kayline Shounce was on the show and did a phenomenal job predicting. And by the way, a great, yeah, we'll get to that. But a great interview was had, and it was so much fun. Please go and pay attention to that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into weekly news. So a couple good news, right? Especially, I mean, for Dolphins fans, 49ers fans, because their players are finally going to go and get checked out, especially Tua, I would say. He's meeting with neurologists in the coming days. I would expect it within the next couple days. So, I think that's the right move. Obviously, they put him on IR so that he can, have a little bit more time. Not only that, CMC, speaking of IR people, he's seeing a specialist in Germany about his Achilles. I have one point to make about this. If it wasn't a serious injury, do you think CMC would be going all the way out to Germany to get it checked out? Don't think so. So unfortunate for the 49ers, at least short term, but long term, I hope that they get it right. Speaking of the 49ers, which just, by the way, cannot seem to catch a break when it comes to injuries. Defensive tackle Javon Hargrave partially tore his triceps and will be out for the season. I don't know who it is on Twitter that I saw this, but somebody was bashing him for apparently not putting in a lot of effort. I want a public apology from that person. Not sure who it is. We'll do research on it later. Because if you partially tear your triceps and you decide I'm still going to go and play in this football game, you, sir, are way tougher than I am. And then last but not least, Ben, I will let you speak shortly after this. Brett Favre was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. We were talking about this a little bit off air. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. It's very sad. Obviously you never want to hear anything like that. I hope that he gets better, and somehow, some way, we can kind of figure this out so that, it's not as bad as it can be. But overall, prayers to him and his family and hope that everything turns out okay. I think that's probably the best that we could say on this one. But Ben, any comments on weekly news?
No, I mean, again, you basically covered it again. Prayers to Brett Favre and his family. And again, the big thing that had thrown me off about the CMC situation is the fact that he's seeing a specialist in Germany. Again, that, for someone who was a game time decision for week 1 to now going to see a specialist in I'm just interested in what had transpired over the last couple of weeks for it to, again, seemingly get worse from going again from being game time to now seeing someone literally on a different continent.
Yeah.
I'm really, really interested in that. And like you were saying, it really seems like they cannot catch a break with all of those injuries. So it's tough. And again, really quick to go back to Scott here as he's commenting. Again, we appreciate you commenting, Scott. The Bears were good at it. It was either Caleb or wide receiver. You could say no, it wasn't, but that's all it was throughout the entire process. It was either going to be Caleb, Marv, or Malik, or Rome. Like, that's all people were talking about. If it wasn't Caleb, was to be one of those guys. There was not much conversation outside of that. Anyway,
But Scott C. from Iowa says that he wants to trade the number 1 overall pick, just so you know. Yeah, but he wants to put Pryor and Wright at tackle, move Jones to guard, and replace Shelton with Kramer. I mean, I think Braxton Jones is whatever works at the end of the day, but I think Braxton Jones is a fine left tackle. I think that it'll be okay. So
that interior is awful.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's get into the fun stuff. I'm tired of being mad all the time. Yeah.
Just when you thought it was safe to play the underdog, we put you on Upset Alert.
Oh man, that Bears segment had me seeing just as much red as that alarm bell thing that I put up there. So I have a lot of them. Ben and I were talking a little bit off air. It's kind of weird because all of mine that could be upset are all home games. And Ben, I'm going to have you start just because I feel like I've been rambling this whole episode, but I think that, you'll probably have a couple of these, I'm sure.
No, well, I can guarantee you I'm going to have all of them. I was not kidding when I had joked about this. I hate doing this and I hate being that person. But we're really at a point right now in the NFL that any game, and again, it's the cop-out answer, but any game is going to be upset. And for those who are wondering why I say that, Ryan, do you mind reading to our viewers/listeners what our record for this past week was in terms of predictions?
So I mean, it didn't end as horrible as it could have. Both Ben and I finished 6-10, which is very much under the normal. Normally we're in the double digits.
Yes, I know. For those our poor new listeners, you're going to be like, wow, these guys know absolutely nothing. Our records last year were phenomenal. But again, something about this year is the NFL is freaking competitive, and obviously, thanks for stating the obvious, but again, this year more than any other years that we've at least covered, the NFL, man, it seems like there are upsets every week, every game, every slate. Like it is wild how much this is going on. It is absolutely crazy. If I have to pick a few upsets for this week, which I really don't want to, because again, it seems like pretty much any of these games can go back and forth outside of this Chiefs game. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I could see the Commanders game and the Cardinals game, Commanders versus the Cardinals, going either direction. I mean, right now the Cardinals are favored. I would not at all be surprised if Jaden Daniels continues to ball out the way he did on Monday.
He looks so good.
Oh my gosh, he looks amazing. And I know we had just spent 25 minutes talking about the Bears being bad. And the Rams did just pull off, a comeback victory against the Niners. But I could see the Bears, being like, hey, I don't know what that was, but we need to figure something out. We need to do something different. Them catching the Rams off guards a little bit there. And then I don't know what the Vikings and Packers, line is at. But right now, I would not be surprised with either team. I thought for sure the Packers were just going to be just
like a rollover team.
Yeah, a rollover team with Malik Willis there.
Mm.
And right now, as you had said in your rant, Malik Willis has looked good, or at least that team has looked good under Malik Willis. I mean, Malik Willis has been like this amazing quarterback, but they know how to coach. They actually have a good coaching staff. Again, not something that Bears fans know much about. But those are the three big games. But honestly, with the way Andy Dalton looked and how bad the Bengals look, I'm not ruling out the possibility of that either.
The revenge of Andy Dalton on Cincinnati? That'd be cool.
I know, you're telling me, but we'll get into picks, here in a segment from now, but it is really hard to pick just a few because it really seems like any game right now could go either way, unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs. But
right, yeah. Which, by the way, Scott, we will get to your comments about the Chiefs here in a couple segments. He said the rest will help you win more often than not. Hey,
yeah.
Speaking of Chiefs, anyways, upset alert for me. So the Giants and Cowboys. Here's the reason why I put that one there. Right?
Wow.
Malik Neighbors has been exploding.
I can't get behind. I'm sorry. I'm not to cut you off. I can't.
So you have him on your fantasy team.
I know. I had put Malik Neighbors. I'd put money down on Malik Neighbors before the season started to win Offensive Rookie of the Year because the odds were so good, and I thought Malik Neighbors was that good a prospect coming out. But currently, Giants fans are being insufferable about Malik Neighbors, and they're like, he is the third best wide receiver in the league. The only two better wide receivers in the league right now are Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson. And right now, people are just riding him, and it is driving me crazy. He looks very, very good. He is not better than CeeDee Lamb. He is not better than A.J. Brown. He's not better than a lot. He's not better than Mike Evans. He's not better than Chris Godwin right now. And I know it's going to drive people crazy. But I am going to go crazy if people just cool it. He is awesome, and he has the potential to be one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
But it's been 3 games, guys. Let's see how the whole season plays out before we start saying he's better than CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown.
Right. No, absolutely. The reason why I put this game there wasn't just because of Malik Neighbors, though. Obviously, that was one of my talking points. But the Cowboys' defense has looked horrendous within the last couple of weeks. It's bad. And the way that the Giants are looking, I mean, they struck while the iron was hot on Sunday. I don't think that it would be outlandish to say they could do it again. Obviously, I think I'm probably going to go with the safe pick here, but we'll get to that next segment. I did put the Vikings and Packers here. Obviously, the Packers are favored, like you said. The reason why I put this here is because the Vikings defense is just stacked, man. They've been doing really good. And not only that, but Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson are really connecting, and it's a lot of fun. Rams and Bears. Bears are favored here. At this point, I'm so mad. Like, dude, I put on a jersey on Sunday, and I felt like I was painting on a clown face. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Bears probably will lose strictly off the fact that Coach Eberflus is a complete idiot when it comes to clock management.
Yes.
And I think that there's a chance that the Bears lose strictly based off of the fact that McVay is a better coach. And it is what it is. It's going to be one of those face palm, run your fist through the drywall kind of losses, but spoiler alert, I'm picking the Bears to lose this week. Saints and Falcons. So the Falcons are favored here. Now, here's why I say this. So the Saints, right? They had a little bit of a down week against the Eagles. But man, did they start off hot. And, obviously, I'll be honest with you. I understand the Falcons kind of kept up with, they obviously beat the Eagles, but they kept up with Kansas City. And I'm still, for some reason, not impressed. I still don't feel like this team is as good as advertised. And the Saints defense is pretty solid. I'm not convinced on Drake London and Darnell Mooney yet. I'll be honest. So, I think the Saints could potentially pull this one off and upset the Falcons. Browns and Raiders. Raiders are favored for some reason. I understand
the Browns are bad.
I understand that Myles Garrett's a little banged up. Still, anytime that the Raiders are favored, they will be on upset alert. I don't trust that team at all. It's just what it is right now. Bills and Ravens. Ravens are favored. Ravens defense is not good against the pass. And Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and that should be enough said for that. I think that that's going to be a great fantasy play. This one's going to be awesome to watch. Let me see. So Bills and Ravens, I believe that one is Sunday Night Football, but let me double check. Let's see. So, okay, Scott's coming in here saying, first off, picking any position to win Offensive Rookie of the Year other than quarterback is probably the worst plays ever. I disagree. I think that that's a wide open area, but I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is just as much as in play as any of these quarterbacks. Scott is also saying, I agree 100%, stating why the Bears lose. Yes, it's because of Sean McVay. Looking at the NFL schedule for this week.
It was Garrett Wilson literally 2 years ago, Jamar Chase the year before that.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about here. I mean, before season shot, it's 2 wide receivers back to back that won it. Anyways,
but Baltimore, Buffalo and Baltimore, that is Sunday Night Football. So I will be glued to the TV on Sunday night. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great.
Nonetheless, that's it for my upset alert. I say we get into our picks. What do you say?
Yeah.
You think you know football? Well, prove it. This is Pigskin Pick'em.
All right. So Pigskin Pick'em. Last week, we both went 6-10. Kayline went 12-4. Our guest over here, obviously experienced with the NFL, 20 years as a cinematographer. And working for NFL Films for, I think he said 13 years, if I remember correctly. We want to, of course, I shot him a text today, just saying thank you for his time, dude.
Yes,
that was an awesome show. On the season, I am winning right now. Now, keep in mind, I'm saying right now because it could change at any point in time, like it normally does. I'm up 26-21 is my record. Ben is 22-25. So, unfortunately, that's where we're at. But
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not a hot start, but it is a start nonetheless. Ben, starting Cowboys and Giants. What are we thinking?
We're gonna go the safe play here. I did my mini rant about Malik. We're going with the Cowboys. I don't want to say there's no way, but I really think CD is gonna feast. I think CD is gonna have a field day. The Cowboys.
I will also go the Cowboys. I understand that their defense. This is when their defense starts to kind of start up. They need confidence, and this is what this game is for.
Yes.
Bengals and Panthers. What are you thinking?
Okay, the Bengals have to win the game at some point this season. I mean, that might be. I mean, I think your Bengals sink and your Bears stake for the seasons might balance each other out. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. So I think the Bengals will now get their first victory, and if they don't, then we really need to start having a serious conversation about Zach Taylor.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I will also lean the Bengals just because the Panthers are booty. That's just what it is. I'll just be honest. Saints and Falcons. I will start off with this one. I'm picking the Saints. Ben?
Yeah, I'm picking the Saints too.
Oh man, this is the problem last week. I
know.
Let's see. Jaguars and Texans. Man, is it almost time to have a conversation about Trevor Lawrence, or what's
brother?
Going on
It's
here?
been time to have a conversation about Trevor Lawrence, right? Like, again, he has never. I don't say he's never, but like he has not reached the stardom that we would have hoped. And right now, and I feel like it's fitting because Sam Darnold is playing so well. Right now, it looks like Trevor Lawrence is seeing ghosts on the football field.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what is like going on. Like, there was a clip that had blown up going around, Twitter of him just spinning in the pocket for no reason. Yeah. Like, there wasn't really
spun around his tackle.
Yeah, like I just think he's seeing ghosts right now. Doug will probably be fired before midseason. And again, that was what I said. I thought he was going to be the first coach fired. Sucks to see that for me as an Eagles fan. All of that being said, the Texans are going to win this game.
I agree. Yes, definitely. Texans are going to eat this team alive. That's my perspective, or my take on this one. Broncos and Jets. I think we're both going Jets here, right?
Yes. Yep.
Vikings, Packers. This one will be fun. Ben?
I really struggled with this one just because Malik has been a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, so is Sam Darnold. And they're playing at Lambeau. It was really hard for me to not pick the Packers, but I didn't. We did pick the Vikings. And honestly, I will probably pick the Vikings until the wheels fall off.
Wow.
They're so much fun.
Scott's sitting here saying Vikings by 4. Ooh. I would like that. However, I will lean Packers here. I will say Packers. Let's see.
Yes, finally. Woo!
Steelers and Colts. Now, the Colts had a... Yeah, okay, never mind. Fine. All right, take my thunder.
Steelers. I'm sorry.
I was trying to sell you on the Colts, but it's just not going to happen.
No, that's not good. Dude, okay, we'll do this really
Anthony
quickly.
Richardson played like dog crap. Dude's awful.
I know. That's exactly what I was going to say. We'll do that really quickly. I don't know. Okay, I do know, but he has not looked good this season. He's
not
hit
at all.
a few good deep balls in week 1, but even in week 1, he did not
That's their Clemson throw,
good.
Dude.
That's it. It's bad. And given this is basically his rookie year, so we need to give him just as much leeway as we're giving everyone else because he only played 3 games last year and whatnot. And it wasn't even 3 full games or four games or whatever it was. But he has not looked good so far.
Yeah.
It's rough. I'm picking the Steelers. I think the Steelers defense is going to rip him a new one.
I am not looking forward to the conversation that people have about how Justin could beat the Colts, but Caleb could not. So, Rams and Bears. I'm leaning Rams, obviously. Ben?
If you would have asked me this, a month ago, a week, before the season had started, I would have thought that we would have picked this in reverse. I probably would have picked the Rams, and you probably would have picked the Bears.
Yeah.
That being said, I have to balance you out here a little bit. I'm going to pick the Bears. I think it's purely just based off of the fact they have to do something soon. And if they don't, it is going to get ugly very quickly.
I agree.
And right now, Bears fans better be thanking their lucky stars that they played Will Levis in week 1. Because if they did not, it would have looked all that much worse.
Yeah. As I said in the group chat, my sanity is really hanging in the balance right now, all thanks to that one win at the beginning. Eagles and Buccaneers. How are you feeling about this one?
Man, it's the Buccaneers, and it sucks because when I saw this was week 4, I was looking forward to it with how everything ended in the playoff game and everything. But we were talking about the Niners being beat up. This team is beat up already too, man. It looks like both AJ and Smitty are going to be out. Smitty is out with a concussion.
Yeah.
I don't feel like talking about it because I'll probably curse and say some very awful things. But Smitty is out with a concussion because of
a dirty
illegal
play.
Hits, we'll say. A dirty play. So he's out with a concussion. AJ is still out with his hamstring. Given, I think AJ, if this was a playoff game, I think AJ probably would be playing. He was running up and down the sidelines and everything. But at this point, don't risk it. Leave 2-2, go into the bye, get healthy. But again, it looks like both of them are hurt. Brenton Covey, are one of our top 4 wide receivers, is hurt. It is looking bleak right now. Lane Johnson probably isn't going to play because he has a concussion too. It is just looking bleak right now in terms of injuries. I complained about that bye week being week 5, but it honestly could not have come at a better time with how the injuries of this team is playing out. That being said, the two things I got for you guys, Bucks are going to win. Hurts me to say that, but also the line isn't out yet because we still don't know the status of AJ. But either way, take whatever Dallas Goedert's yards are. Take the over. Just smash the over on that. He is basically the only one outside of Jahan Dotson that has any semblance of being good. But this might be a Johnny Wilson game. And if this is a Johnny Wilson game, I am going to run around this room like no one's business. But that's a story that only the people that have been following this podcast through the offseason would get. So,
yeah. Obviously, I'm going Buccaneers as well. It's going to be the Baker show. And I think Slay got hurt as well.
Slay did get hurt. He had a weird hand thing, but he'll be fine. He said he's going to play, and I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. I don't want to imagine this, but Scott said, imagine a world where Fields is 4-0 and Caleb's 1-3. Let's see. Yeah, it's just, sure. Patriots and 49ers. This one's fun.
Yeah, it's the Niners, guys. It's the Niners. I mean, what was it? Was it Drake May? We had saw Drake May snaps for the first time. Yeah. It's game, kid. I mean, he looked good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I will also pick the 49ers here. Commanders and Cardinals.
This game, of all the games, and honestly, if I would have looked at this at the start of the season, I probably wouldn't have been thinking the same. But of all the games, this might be the hardest game in the entire slate this weekend.
Yeah,
that I had the most difficulty picking. I've really gone back and forth, and I really want to pick the Commanders because I love Jaden Daniels. But at the end of the day, they're the Commanders. It's Dan Quinn. It's Cliff. I'm not a Cliff guy. I can't. We're gonna go with the Cardinals, but I would not at all be shocked if the Commanders won this game.
I am also picking the Cardinals here, and just so you guys know, Call of Duty releases towards the end of October, so we only got a few more weeks of good Kyler. Just saying. Scott is saying take Daniels over 1.5 touchdown passes, Commanders by 8. Wow. Okay. We'll get into Pigskin Pick'em, or not Pigskin Pick'em, Pigskin Payout right after this.
Really quickly too. For those who were it's kind of been on the hush and I haven't really seen it talked about much, but Brock Purdy's back is messed up for those who had seen that or had not seen that. He had to get an MRI done on his back and he'll most likely play in this game, but watch out for that, man. If he takes a bad hit, let's say Keon White makes his way around the corner on the blind side and gets him, I would not be surprised if Brock Purdy does not play the entire game if he gets a good hit. It's just another one of those 49ers injuries that is, again, seemed to be plaguing them super early on into the season.
Yeah. Chiefs and Chargers, I'm just going to fill in Chiefs for both of us, right?
Yeah. It was rough for them. I mean, Herbo's hurt. Both Joe Alt and Slater had left the game. Did a ruling come out on the Derwin James stuff? I know that he was originally suspended for the hit, but then he appealed it. I thought I had saw something, but right now it's just not a good time. And as Scott has said, as pretty much everyone in the NFL knows at this point, the NFL is going to do everything to help their golden boy win.
Well, no, this is saying Chargers Jim Harbaugh disappointed NFL's suspended starter Derwin James because he said, quote, there was not a defensive player. Well, you are a cheater, sir. So,
hey.
Yeah.
You're just mad because you're just
Mickey
mad
Mouse
because
ring.
OSU because OSU never. You can't say Mickey Mouse ring, dude. Even if this gets tied to Jim Harbaugh, like by week 4, all of that was busted and caught. So all of the wins he had against OSU, the win he had against Bama, the win he had against Washington, and the win he had against Iowa in the Big Ten were all clean wins.
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation. I don't want to start it, and I knew exactly what you were doing there, jerk. But
Browns and Raiders.
Let's not do that. All right, pal. Let's save that for another segment or show.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Browns Raiders.
This game blows is what this game is.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Gosh, no pun intended. That's awful. It was one of the worst timings for me to say that. Browns. I'm going to go with the Browns, but
Cool.
I'm not going to watch
Raiders,
it.
I guess.
I'll tell you that.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll get an ESPN alert about it or something. I'm sure. I don't know. Bills and Ravens. This one's fun.
Bills.
I'll go Ravens. Titans, Dolphins.
Titans. The Titans get their first win. They just looked. I mean, for all that talk we had talked about Tua maybe not being as good of a quarterback as we thought. Gosh, they looked bad without him.
Yeah.
They did not look good without him. I'm going Titans.
I'm going Dolphins, and I will say this: if they start Tyler Huntley, they'll be just fine. Seahawks and Lions.
The Lions. I mean, the Seahawks are undefeated, through the first 3 weeks, but really they have not played anyone of like actual substance. This is the first like good team that they were playing. I'm going Lions.
All right, so let's go ahead and zip through. All right, Scott's saying Chiefs are winning.
Ravens by 17.
Yeah, Ravens by 17 against the Bills. That would be case for a nap, I'll be honest. Dolphins by 2, and then Lions by 6. All right. Thank you for your input. I really do appreciate it. We do appreciate the comments and everything.
Yeah.
And anybody else, I mean, if you feel like chiming in your predictions, by all means. But this one's going to be fun. We didn't do this segment last week. Excited to get it back.
They say winning isn't everything, and that may be true in some cases. But right now, let's make some money. It's time for Pigskin Payout.
All right. So if you're unfamiliar, this is where we will, make some parlays, stuff like that for you, or just take some picks of what we think. You don't have to. Obviously, be responsible with your money. Ben,
Yes.
I'm going to have you go first.
Yeah. Again, be responsible, bet within your means, and all that stuff that you guys have heard probably 1,000 times at this point. Sports bet. We're gonna keep the theme of the 3 legs going. It'll probably be the consistent theme throughout the entire season of 3-leg parlays. Right now, a lot of the lines are still not out, so it's going to be a majority 2 of the 3 legs coming for Thursday night football. I almost said tomorrow, but for our audio listeners, it'll be today. But we're going to do CD Lamb anytime touchdown score. That line straight is -155. Dallas money line, that line straight is actually -258. And then KC to cover 7.5. I really think KC is just going to run away with that game. As much as I love Jim, there's way too much injuries on that Chargers team. And that line is straight -108. And that puts you at a clean +300, $10 to 140. So
cool. For mine, I have Steelers -1.5, Rams +3, Texans -6.5. Obviously, so I should be saying the matchup. Steelers 1.5 against the Colts, or -1.5 against the Colts. Rams +3 against the Bears. Texans -6.5 against the Jaguars. Lions -3.5 against the Seahawks. Parlay +12.17. $10 wins $121.73. The total payout is $130.173, but that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So that will do it for Pigskin Payout. I'll try and post this on Twitter just so that, you guys can have that as well for Sunday through the slate. But anyways, let's see. This is awesome. Scott, thank you for it. He said, good show, guys. Just effing around. Hope you grow this to the moon. Go Bears and F the Packers. Yes, man. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you subscribed. If not, have a good night, man. I appreciate it. Hope to see you on the next show. Guys, let's talk college football, huh?
Yeah.
Pro football isn't the only game in town. Let's take a stroll to Ben's College Corner.
And
yes.
How about the
college.
Fighting Illini, huh? How about that?
How about them? Yeah, really quickly, like Ryan had mentioned, guys, if you're listening, please feel free to comment, throw stuff in there. We always love and enjoy interacting with you guys on the live show or on social media and whatnot. So if you guys have any thoughts or opinions along the way, as Ryan said, don't be scared to shoot a comment or shoot something to us on social media or anything. Fighting Illini. I mean, we'll jump right into it. I mean, they beat Nebraska 31-24. They're ranked 19 now. Good for them. Really not a team that I think anyone had expected for them to be this good. They're really going to be fun. And not to get too far in front of my boots here, because we'll get into this portion of the segment in a little bit. But, man, if IU could beat Maryland, they're going to be ranked after
That's
this
insane. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. This is the first time IU started 4-0 under a new head coach. Coach State has these guys rolling, and it's a great time to be on this campus. Anyways, Tennessee, they ended up beating OU 25-15. They played a good, complete game. Nico looked good. They continue to get their running back involved. He rushed for over 100 yards. Again, Nico looked good passing the football. Dan Arnold being benched was a little weird. They benched him for a freshman. Again, I did not watch that game. I was away. Wasn't here at all on Saturday. So I don't really know what happened in terms of that, though. And then Michigan won. 27-24. I was pounding the table for Alex Borgi. I was asking, please, 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 please. And, of course, he did not look amazing as a passer. That was never going to be his thing. He was never going to be this amazing passer or this accurate passer, something like, JJ, for example, when it comes to accurate and whatnot. But he got the job done. They lean on the run game. This was kind of the Penn State, game plan that they had from last year. And they looked good, man. And the defense finally showed out and finally showed signs of being that defense that we all would have hoped they looked like heading into the season. So yay, go Michigan. Thank you for winning.
Saving his sanity.
That being keeping my sanity, exactly. That being said, most of the time, unless it's crazy newsworthy stuff, I just cover those games from the prior week. But we've had two very, very unique, I don't say unique, but interesting stories develop. Give me 1 second here, guys. Steve.
Yep. Bless you. Holy cow.
Thank you. Sorry, I would have muted myself, but I'm not on that screen. We've had two unique storylines kind of develop over the last 24 hours-ish. And they're both kind of revolving around the same subject. UNLV's quarterback, Matthew Saluka, I think is how you pronounce it, something like that, is stepping away from the team and is redshirting, probably going to transfer out. And the reason that is weird is because right now UNLV is undefeated. They're 4-0. They probably have the best resume of any people out there. And if they continued to roll, they probably would have had a good chance of making the college football playoffs. So it was very weird to see him say, I'm playing 4 games, played my 4 games, and now I'm going to keep my red shirt. For those who don't know, you have to play 4 or less games to keep that red shirt. If you play in a 5th game, you can no longer red shirt, which means you use that year of eligibility. And there's a lot of speculation surrounding that has to do with NIL money. I guess he was promised something. We don't know what it was, but he said that he was promised something, or the program, something about the program or something, and he ended up not getting what he was promised. A lot of people are speculating that's NIL money. And then in the same vein is Bear Alexander. Bear Alexander, he's had quite the how do I put this? Quite the interesting path in college football. He was a 5-star defensive tackle. He committed to Georgia. He played his first year at Georgia. He had a lot of drama that had kind of followed him at Georgia. People kind of called him lazy. People said he wasn't fully committed. He transferred to USC. He was a starter there last year. Played a relatively good game. And then coming into this season / at the end of last season, there was a lot of steam building up that he may transfer out of USC again. Again, a lot of that stemmed from a lot of people within that USC program talking about him maybe being, again, not a team player, taking plays off, still all of that stuff that had followed him from Georgia. Heading into this year, he is coming off the bench. He's their 3rd-string defensive tackle. He's still rotated in. This Michigan game was not good for him. He got blown off the ball 5 yards back consistently. He looked like the Bears' offensive line in pass protection. He did not look good. And just like 3 hours ago, it came out, he too is also only going to play in 4 games. He's not going to play in his 5th game come Saturday, and he's going to redshirt with the intent to transfer. I'm going to be really interested to follow that process because, again, there's not he has not built up quite the best reputation for him. And I'm wondering if there is even a team within the Power 4 that really wants to even touch him with everything that is going on, again, with that reputation he built up around him. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see where he ends up. So just 2 very unique scenarios in college football that we don't usually see. Again, most of the time it's not too common for people to only play in 4 games and save that red shirt, but for that to happen to UNLV quarterback who was 4-0, making the push for the playoffs, and for Bear Alexander with everything that had followed him out of Georgia, just 2 very unique situations there. Going into this week, you had said it, we had talked about him last week. Illinois, ranked 19 now, going up against 9th ranked Penn State at Happy Valley. It is going to be fun because we've said it before in this podcast, and I'll say it again. Penn State, they have not looked very good. They don't instill a lot of confidence in me. And I would not be surprised if the Fighting, Illini go in there and catch the Nittany Lions off guard and win that game. And it would be absolutely electric if they did. Now, this game starts, and this is the only reason that I'll probably pick Penn State to win this game. This game starts at 7:30, and I could very easily Google this, but I'm not going to because I'm too lazy to do that.
I'd say Illinois covers, honestly.
Illinois could very much cover, and I'm wondering.
Checking the line right now.
My gosh. ESPN has that spread at plus 19 for Illinois.
Oh, yeah, they're covering.
Yes. The only reason that I'm not going to say Illinois wins this game is because it starts at 7:30, and that 7:30 start time makes me think this is going to be the whiteout game. I could be wrong. Again, I could very easily look that up and figure out whether or not this was the the whiteout game. But with that 7:30 start time, makes me think that's a whiteout game. And my gosh, Penn State and Happy Valley during that whiteout game is maybe the hardest place in all of college football to play. That is not a game you want to mess around with. Next game to watch out for, 15-ranked Louisville versus 16-ranked Notre Dame. This is in South Bend, but I would not be shocked if Louisville wins this game. I would not be shocked if Louisville wins this game.
Yeah.
I mean, if NIU could do it, Louisville sure could. They're definitely a better team than NIU. It's going to be fun. And this is really going to, this is where the pavement meets the road for Riley Leonard. This is where he has to say, I'm a good quarterback. I came from Duke to play here. 4 games like this, that you need to be able to put that behind you. You looked good against Purdue. You have to do that again against Louisville. And if you don't, it could turn very, very bad for you in South Bend very, very quickly.
Right.
And then the last game, the game that pretty much everyone who watches college football will most likely be sitting on their couch and watching. Number 2 ranked Georgia goes to Bama, and it is going to be fun to watch. It is the 2 SEC powerhouses. It's the game that we usually see come SEC championship time. And if Georgia looks anything like they did against Kentucky, they are going to lose this game. It is going to be, again, a very, very fun game to watch. Again, the 2 powerhouses there in the SEC, and I'm very interested to see where this game goes. I'm excited for this slate of college football, and we'll see if any more players decide to use that red shirt before Saturday starts.
Yeah, I'm excited for this slate. I really am.
Scott does not like Illinois. Scott, I wish I could pull up that comment.
I did. It's all
you did? Oh,
yeah. It's fine. It's whatever.
I don't know why you don't like Illinois. I wonder what the
He's an Iowa guy. He's got C from Iowa. He's an Iowa guy. Big Ten.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's deep, man.
I guess so. All right, time for my freaking favorite segment that has gotten cut just due to time. I'm so pumped for it.
Let's go ahead and let's run it, shall we?
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
Ask, why is this Ben's favorite segment? It's because he's kicked my behind every single time, damn near. 44-25, Ben is the score. And ads everywhere. Awesome. Great.
It's became bad. I have not played Weddle in a very long time now.
Yep, there it is. Iowa Hawkeye through and through from Scott.
Shocker. Yeah, shocker. Man,
he's proud of it.
Yeah, well, Cade McNamara sucks, so you're in for quite the season. Anyways, sorry.
Nice. I started screen casting and all of a sudden, now it's Cisco ads.
Boo.
Awesome. Boo indeed. All right. So
Cisco, QQQ, and Starbucks, and Xfinity Mobile, and all that stuff are not sponsors.
Especially Xfinity, you bums.
Yeah.
Anyways, but anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. So I will go ahead and start us off with Justin Fields with how hot he's been. We'll see if
what?
Just go ahead and you saw that? Okay, Justin Fields.
There it is.
That's fun.
All right.
All right.
Young player in the AFC who's not like short, but not relatively tall. Not a quarterback.
Is Kadarius Toney on a team? I don't think he. I think he
got
cut, right?
Yeah, he is. Some team signed him. I think it was the Browns. The Browns.
It would.
Yeah, you're telling me. Garrett Wilson. Oh, that's actually already just a bad rip, anyways, because of the number.
It is a wide.
Oh, never mind. Whoa.
Number killed it. All right, so it's a wide receiver in the AFC that wears number 5. It's not in the north or the east, so you're talking south. I'm trying to think. Burks?
No, he's too tall.
No. Yeah.
Oh, no, just kidding. Well, it has to be the West. Rashid Rice is too old.
He's too old? He was drafted after. Did he stay in school a couple of years?
Sorry. Too young.
Dude, these ads, man. This segment might be unplayable for a little bit until they fix this.
Rashid Rice is not old enough. That's my bad. Jeez, no one from the Chargers that's really standing out. There's no one from Puka?
I would assume.
But,
he's not there.
Michael Wilson. Oh, no, but that's the NFC. Duh. Yeah, that was stupid.
Let's see here.
Dude, I feel stupid. I haven't played this segment in such a long time that I feel dumb. No, what number is Rashid Rice? Is he 25? I mean, I knew he was a little bit older, but
it's not Johnston. No, Johnston's not 25. I might try him.
The number works out. I'm pretty sure he wears 5. Oh no,
Nope.
I was talking about Rashid Rice.
Rice? I mean, we could try it.
It's not. No.
It's easy mode. I mean,
we know it's the Chargers.
oh, you're right. My bad.
Yes.
My bad. It's been a long day. Sorry.
Oh, Josh Palmer. Yeah.
There it is. Okay. Hard mode. And then we get to stop seeing all these ads on the screen. I apologize. Plus, I'll get rid of this. That way you guys can see that. Anyways. I'm about to, tweet at Weddle and just be like, you guys suck, just so you know. Can't be that many people playing this game to where you have to do 1 billion ads to make money off of it. Are you serious?
No.
Anyways, we have to. It's not happening, but we have to. Dude, I'm telling you, this is crashing the PC.
I know, bro. It's wild. Landon Dickerson.
NFC East. Okay. We're talking offense. Let's see.
Oh, Landon Dickerson, 6'5". Huh.
I don't know why this player's. I don't think he even played. No. Okay. No.
Were you thinking of Hendershot?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the Chiefs now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you knew where I was going with that too. Let's see. NFC East, not a Philadelphia Eagle. What's our new comment? Yeah, I sound like the Bears when they pass on Justin for Caleb. All right, buddy. Iowa guy. What do you know about the Bears? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, pal.
All right, so I'm thinking. I can't tell you what I'm thinking. No, don't do that.
I think I might know who it is.
Oh my god.
I think I might know who it is.
It's NFC North. Guy. Oh god, what's his name?
I'm between two guys, and I'm really hoping you guess a team so it helps me out here.
Jesus, dude, I'm trying to think of what the name is. brain power, dude. It really sucks playing this at like late at night, just because there's no way that my brain would be functioning like this in the morning. Oh boy. Okay. Well, swing and miss.
I'm almost like 100% sure I know who it is.
Oh god, dude. I mean, dude, it's a tight end. It has to be a tight end. I'm just trying to think.
Yes, I was waiting for you to come to that realization with the numbers.
Will you give me the name if I tell you who I'm thinking of? Because I can't think of the name. Are you willing to be generous enough? You're up by almost 20 spots.
I don't know if I want to. It depends.
I'm thinking Commanders starting tight end. I don't know what his name is.
Tell me more about him. Because that's who my guess is. But that could be.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What is his name?
I mean,
No, because you're gonna say it and I'm gonna know. Eagles?
A huge hit.
It's not Ertz. Ertz plays for the Cardinals. No, it's not. He plays for the Cardinals. No way it's Ertz. It's Ertz. He used to play for the Cardinals. Wow. Okay. All right. Fine. All right. Staying corrected.
That's why I was like, he plays for the Commanders.
That's insane, dude. I swear to God, I thought he played for the Cardinals. I mean, I thought he continued to play for the Cardinals. I know he used to play for the Cardinals.
You were thinking of, you were probably thinking of Logan Thomas.
Yeah. Scott, congratulations. Yes, you were the deciding factor on me guessing that. I'll be honest with you. Screw you, Ben. It weren't the one that did that. Anyways.
No, definitely not me.
Yeah. Ben, any closing comments?
No, Scott, thank you for coming along the ride with us. Tune in every week, man. Yeah. Like I said, I pray for your mental sanity, buddy. That
been tough.
That the Bears do something this week, and if not something, hopefully Shane Waldron or Flus or Chris Morgan or whatnot follows, because
Chris Morgan needs to be gone last year.
Last year. Now, anyways, again, as always, thank you guys for tuning in. And next week, back at the same time, probably.
I will say this as an announcement. So this is what our layout looks like right now. It probably will not look like this in the future. I will be doing more research because we will be hopping off of StreamYard. StreamYard is the podcast service that we are broadcasting from at the moment. Stay tuned on all of our socials to find out where you can find our podcast. Obviously, you'll be able to find it on all the streaming platforms afterwards, as you normally are. It's just live streaming it might become a little bit more. What was that? Might be a little bit more difficult if we can't find something that's more affordable. StreamYard has gone from about $25 a month for us to about $45 a month. And with me and big changes coming soon, for me personally, I cannot afford a 200% jump in my bills for specifically this. That's a side hobby. We're not making any money off of this. So the fact that we've been investing money into this, it's enough to just keep it up, and we just can't do that anymore. They're just not allowing us to. So, we're going to do more research. If there's an opportunity to stay on StreamYard, we will. If not, we will post an update about it and let you guys know how it's going to look. So, without further ado, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys haven't yet, please follow us on any of our socials, whichever one's more convenient for you at this point.
Yes.
We've had a banner down below that's been kind of telling you all of our socials, so where you can find us. But thank you to Spotify for Podcasters, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Uppercuts Grooming. Holy crap, English is hard too. And until next week, we'll see you later. This has been the Pigskin Project.